Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode. In this one I am covering quite a well requested one. I mean, no one has actually requested it on this channel, but it is a popular one on YouTube, and this is obviously Forex or Forex trading. So I'm going to be covering the basics of what it actually is, how you can do it, and of course I'm doing that more in other videos, but this is just absolute basics, and next video we're working on how you can do it. So please do like the video and subscribe to not miss out on that when it comes out. But basically, I'm going to be showing you what Forex is and how you can use it and how it basically works. So it's going to be a pretty simple video, but obviously a lot of people do like to talk about Forex when they talk about trading. So I'm going to talk to you about a few misconceptions as well, and just a few general points which you might need to know if you're getting into it. Okay, so first point that I need to make. So Forex is basically something that you can do to trade. Now, when most people talk about Forex, they talk about that as a primary way to trade, whereas in the real world, that's just not the case. There are so many options here that you can see to trade. We can trade with stocks, we can trade with commodities, we can trade with cryptocurrencies, indices, things like this, loads of different things, and to be honest, we can make the same profits, if not better profits, with those than we can with the Forex or Forex markets as well. So bear that one in mind. It's not even the only option to trade, and it is a very difficult one to trade. So if you are willing to get into trading, I'm not saying that Forex trading can't work for you, but bear in mind it's a very, very difficult market to get into, especially when there are some more predictable markets on there as well. But yeah, if you are interested in getting into it, there are some things that you should know. And these are how it works, of course, and what it means, and what you're actually purchasing when you are doing this. Okay, so first things first, what is Forex trading? So it stands for foreign exchange. So it's obviously FO for foreign, REX for exchange. Oh, it's actually FOR for foreign, and X for exchange. Okay, so it's foreign exchange, and basically what that means is you're trading a currency against another currency, or a value against another value. So in this case, in the first one on the very top, you can see here, Euro US dollar. We are trading the Euro in favor of the US dollar. So for example, if we say that the US dollar is going to go down, and we go in here, so to sell this would anticipate the euro going down against the US dollar, and to buy it would anticipate the euro getting stronger against the US dollar. So that's basically how it works. So obviously, the one which is the first in the pair, so in this case euro, and the one below GBP, and USD in the one below. Basically, whichever one comes first is the one that we are betting on. So up is buy and down is sell. So up to anticipate the euro going up in this instance, and down to anticipate the euro going down. Okay, so that moves on to our position size. So you can see here all the way at the top 3.5 million, 5 million, 4.7, so on. Larger numbers, but of course, how that works is that you might not have enough money in your account to obviously buy such a large percentage, but how it works is in Forex, you trade using something called leverage. So, talking about trading with leverage, something I'm going to cover in the future again. Of course, I need to cover it a little bit more. But yeah, trading with leverage basically means that you technically kind of borrow money, which means that, so for example, if you're using 100 times leverage, and now that is a very high amount of leverage I need to add, but it's a very clear number that I can talk about. So perhaps you'll be using 20%, 30% leverage in the real world, but let's just say we're using 100 times leverage just because it's a nice round number. So we're using 100 times leverage. So if we start off with £100, then times that by another 100, and basically we get the profits of a much larger account. So this means that we borrow money and get the same results as we do with a larger account without having to put in so much money. But that also means we get as much loss as a large account, and of course that can quickly run us over the funds and lose all of our money. So when you're in a Forex trade, there are some factors that you need to look into to basically understand how the markets actually work. So mainly in the US dollar, but other currencies, that's one that is mainly used in most common sets of Forex. So US dollar is a very common one that you'll find. Of course, there are different types of Forex pairs. You've got majors, exotics, things like that. Obviously, I'll talk about that more in a different video. But yeah, so most of these ones here will include the US dollar because that is a very major pair. Obviously, it's one of the biggest countries in the world economically, if not the biggest. So for that reason, it is a quite commonly used pair. and you can bet on it or against it, and that will of course lead to different results. So when you are trading Forex, a lot of people talk about looking at technical analysis and things like that. Now that is true to an extent, of course. We can see a common point of resistance along this line, but honestly it's not that simple. Now it's easy to say, oh, we can see it here, it would be a good time to sell. Perhaps it would, but you see, you just don't know what news is going to come out. So the thing about this, even though it might be analytical, it's also good to keep your fundamentals in check as well, because it is quite fundamental as well, because of course you do need to know what's going to happen, what news releases are going to happen, and how that will affect things in the future. So of course I'm going to be talking about in the future a lot more about news releases and things like that, so please do stay tuned for that. But yeah, news releases and things like that, information can also affect the price of the US dollar. So US dollar is something to bet against. It's quite a commonly used one, like I said, and of course you can do long-term forex trades or short-term. Obviously, most traders do talk about using short-term ones, but of course you can use long-term ones as well. So there are other ways to bet on the US dollar and the euro, or other pairs on Forex. We can also bet on gold against the US dollar. Now, this isn't technically a pair, but perhaps we could bet on US dollar and Great British Pound. And then basically, when the dollar goes down, usually, obviously not all the time, gold tends to go up. So gold is something that you can use again to bet against the euro US dollar, or just the US dollar, sorry, or whichever pair you want to use, basically, because there is not a gold US dollar pair. It's just something you'll have to look into yourself again, and I intend to cover it more in the future, but obviously I can only make one video a day, so for that reason it's going to take a while. But basically, yeah, there are many pairs that you can look into. These are just the common ones. Depending on which broker you decide to use, you can use different pairs. Obviously, this one's just showing all the most common pairs which are traded right here, and which are the most popular ones. So another thing to note, there are Forex trading sessions. So what this means is, throughout different periods in the day, there are different sessions, which means that different markets are open. So sessions are another thing that we're going to talk about in the series in the future. But yeah, sessions basically can affect the market volatility quite a lot, actually. So for example, some sessions are quite a lot more volatile than others. For example, the London-New York crossover, very volatile time generally, which means it can be easy to catch a big move or perhaps fail on a big move and get a big loss as well. I do need to add that because a lot of people look at these Forex charts and think that they are very easy to read, and of course anyone can do it, and anyone can do it if you do have the right knowledge. And of course a lot of people on the internet do put out the wrong knowledge and tell lies that are just strictly not true, and of course the whole idea of this channel is to put an end to that one. So yeah, it is a great market to get into sometimes if you can anticipate things happening in the future, if you can see things that are going to happen clearly. For example, at the start of February, if you'd have betted on the US dollar going down, and if you'd have betted on gold going up, obviously you would have made a massive profit right there. So that's just an example of when you can use Forex trading to basically guarantee a profit. But of course, even then, it's not guaranteed, but it is more likely than the common method of technical analysis, although that can work if you are looking for a smaller trade and a faster move. But just, all I'm trying to say is I'm just trying to raise awareness to the point that that's not the only way that you can do this. So yeah, it's a great market to get into, like I said. Definitely worth doing a lot of research into it, because if you just dive in thinking, oh, it's going up, it's going down, of course you'll get stopped out eventually quite quickly, and then you'll just think there's no point to it. So important, very important, that you just keep the right information around you and know what you're doing with this one, because even when pairs are going down like this one, we can see 1 week it's red, 1 month it's red, 3 months it's red, 6 months it's red, 1 year it's red as well. Even in that period, we could have made a profit, because if we know what we're doing, we could have shorted this currency against another one and made the win. So in this case, like I said, it's a US dollar. It went down quite a lot this year, the US dollar did, for obvious reasons. And due to that, basically, we could have made a profit betting on other currencies. But of course, you do need to have the information to know these things. And that is why I intend to tell you all the information that you need to know when you get into trading, day trading, all kinds of trading, swing trading, investing in general. And for that reason, it would be massively appreciated if you could subscribe to the channel and perhaps check out all of the other videos in the series, because this is a stock market explained series, but I'm also thinking about putting this video in a special Forex trading series, because a lot of people do like to focus on that market as well. So I intend to put that in a different series as well. But yeah, there are many series, 3 series on the channel now to check out, so please do that, please enjoy them, and I hope that you will do that. So thank you very much for joining me in this video, and I will see you in the next one. So the idea is now I'm going to put some videos on screen that you can watch, and I hope that you'll go and enjoy them because I took time making them and I enjoyed making every single one of them. So if you could just check out a few of them, it would be massively, massively appreciated. Like I said, see you in the next one, everybody. Goodbye.